A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+. English, that's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English. Hello everybody, 大家好. Welcome to A+. My name is Reese.
And I'm Laura.
And we are back today with a very, very interesting topic. Not something I ever thought we'd be talking about on A+. Food made in prisons? What's that about?
Yeah, I have no idea until I read the article, of course.
Yes, well, maybe there are some words here that we need to review quickly. Prisons is one of our vocabulary words later. It's a place you go when you're naughty. More on that later.
做坏事就要去了.
First, a warm-up question.
Okay.
For you, Laura.
Okay.
What kinds of food can you cook?
Does instant noodle 这真的吗？泡面算不算啊？
Do you cook 泡面 or do you just make 泡面?
Oh, that's a good point. I can cook instant noodles.
Okay,
它还是可以
That
用
counts.
煮的嘛，不是用泡的。That's a good question.
Is there anything that you can cook from scratch?
Fried rice, that's really easy.
That's pretty
炒
good.
饭还蛮简单的。
I've never cooked fried rice before.
Right, you should. I can teach you.
Sure.
It's really easy.
Yeah,
What
let's make
can
some.
you cook then?
I don't really like to cook very much because the things that I cook don't usually taste very good. But one time I did make fish and chips for my friends
我想要
because they were like, hey, Reese, you're British, cook something British. And I was like, what's the most British thing in the world? Fish and chips and mushy peas.
真的吗？澳洲也吃 fish and chips 啊
pretty-
Did we copy you? Or...
Oh, well, I don't
好
know.
吧，可能是学英国的啦。
It was
Anyways,
pretty good. Well, we're talking about food, but more specifically, food that has been made by prisoners. Let's find out a bit more by getting into the article.
yes.
Special foods from prisons. Warm-up question. What kinds of food can you cook?
Sometimes people go to prison after they commit crimes. It's hard for them to get jobs after they leave. However, some prisons in Taiwan help prisoners learn job skills like cooking. Prisoners at these prisons make these special foods. Spicy dried tofu, Taipei Prison. Dried tofu is famous in Daxi District, so this is a special local food. It takes 6 or 7 hours to make from start to finish. There are 2 kinds, mild and hot. Scallion pancakes, Yilan Prison. These vegetables grow in Sanxing, Yilan. They're the best in Taiwan. There are only 4 things in the pancakes: scallions, lard, flour, and salt. Word power. Prison. Prison. After the man killed his wife, he went to prison. After the man killed his wife, he went to prison. Prisoner. Prisoner. Donald is a prisoner now because he stole money from a business. Donald is a prisoner now because he stole money from a business. Crime. Crime. You can't drink beer and then drive a car. It's a crime. You can't drink beer and then drive a car. It's a crime. Local. Local. This famous dish is a special local food from this city. This famous dish is a special local food from this city. Flour. Flour. To make bread, we'll need flour, salt, oil, and a few other things. To make bread, we'll need flour, salt, oil, and a few other things.
认识字汇
Commit. Commit. Mild. Mild. Lard. Lard.
So today's article begins by telling us that sometimes people go to prison after they commit crimes.
没错，有时候人们在他们犯罪的时候会去监狱。这里我们先来看一下第一个 word power word prison。我们来看一下 prison 这个字，它是个名词哦，就是监狱。那如果你要搭配像是出狱的话，你要用什么动词？你可以用 come or get out of prison。那如果要放某人出狱，就是 let somebody out of prison。但是最不 OK 的就是我们在可能有一些影集会看到，或是电影看到逃狱啦，就是 escape from a prison。那如果你要想说，这个人他坐了很长时间的牢，英文要怎么说？你可以说 The man spent a lot of time in prison。我们再来看一个例句哦。After the man killed his wife, he went to prison。哇，好可怕哦！这个男人在杀死了自己的妻子之后，进了监狱。
That's right. Hopefully none of us end up in prison.
No.
Be a good person and you won't have to go there. Prisons are not nice places because you have no freedom. You can't leave. Prisons are important though, as they do keep dangerous people from hurting good people, like us. Well, there is another word which is commit. Commit is kind of a strange word. This verb means to do something, but we usually only use it when we're talking about doing a bad thing, like a murder, offense, or a crime. Hey, that's another vocabulary word. Laura, please help me out of this.
OK， 好，我们来看一下，先来看一下 commit 哦，它其实有犯什么东西，通常是罪行不好的东西咯，它是个动词，像是刚刚提到 commit murder 就是犯杀人罪啦 ，commit an offense 就是犯法 ，and of course people who commit crimes end up in jail。那我们就来看一下刚刚提到的 commit crimes 的 crime。好的，我们来看一下 crime 这个字哦，它是个名词，就是罪啦，或是罪行。那如果你要讲比较轻微的，你可以用这个形容词 petty P-E-T-T-Y， 就是轻微的罪，或者相反的就是 a serious crime， 严重的犯罪。He committed serious crimes such as murder and fraud. Fraud 这个字有点难，可是在讲诈骗的时候，可能你会用到这个字，因为它是诈骗的意思 F-R-A-U-D。好啦，我们来看一下例句。You can't drink beer and then drive a car. It's a crime. 你不能在喝啤酒后开车，这是犯罪。
Right, so crime is a noun, and a crime is something that you do that's illegal. Every country has different laws, and so what is a crime in one country may not be a crime in another. For example, it's okay to bet money on sports games and card games in the UK, but I don't think you can do that in Taiwan. It's a crime. Well, the article continues here. It says, it's hard for them to get jobs after they leave. However, some prisons in Taiwan help prisoners learn job skills like cooking.
Wow, what a good idea. OK, 所以对他们来说，就是坐牢的人离开监狱后，他们是非常难找工作的。然而，有些台湾他们的监狱会帮助囚犯学习职业技能，比方刚刚有提到 cooking， 就是烹饪哦。那这里我们有用到 however， 然而如何如何。其实在英文当中转折词是很好用的哦。那类似或是很常见的转折词还有 therefore， 就是表示因此如何如何。那如果你要表示此外又如何如何，你可以用 what's more, in addition, furthermore。哇，这些都是非常常见的转折词。不过刚刚我们还看到我们另外一个 word power word， 我们先来看一下 prisoner 这个字吧。 OK， 我们来看一下 prisoner。OK， 这个字当然就是囚犯或是犯人，因为我们看到它字尾有 er， 什么样子的人？比方像是呢 ，a prisoner serving a life sentence for murder。OK，life sentence 就是无期徒刑，所以就是要服无期徒刑的犯人。我真的很怕口误。好了，我们看一下整句的用法。Donald is a prisoner now because he stole money from a business. Donald 现在是名犯人，因为他从一间公司偷了钱哦。
So if a prison is a place where bad people go, a prisoner is a person who must go to prison.
Yes.
We can actually also use this word to talk about anybody who is being kept somewhere by force. You could be innocent and still be a prisoner, like a prisoner of war or a political prisoner. Scary.
Yeah.
Well, the article continues here and tells us more. It says, prisoners at these prisons make these special foods.
好酷哦，因为接下来我们就来介绍在这里的监狱的囚犯他们会做特别的食物有哪些，开始要讲美食咯。
Okay, so the first one that the article will talk about is spicy dried tofu, and that's in Taipei prison. Dried tofu is famous in Daxi district,
Right.
so this is a special local food. Ooh,
超
sounds
爱吃
delicious.
这个的，就是辣味豆干，在这个台北监狱。I love 豆干。Do
Me
you?
too. It's my favorite. Every time I get
know.
Luwei, I just get so much
Right， 超好
豆干。
吃哦。所以豆干大家都应该知道吧，在大溪是很有名的，所以这是一个非常特别的当地食物名产啦之类的。我们先来看一下 local 这个字好了。Local 这个字应该大家都不陌生吧？它是个形容词，就是当地的、本地的。那有时候可能你有当地的口音，因为像是即使台湾台语好像在不同地方都有不同口音啦，所以你就可以用 local accent。OK， accent 就是口音，或者是我们刚刚有提到当地的美食就是 local food， 或是如果在这个区域的什么商店啦，或者是学校，你也可以加 local 在前面，像 local school。当地的学校 local supermarket，OK， 当地的超市。那我们来举个例子会比较清楚哦。This famous dish is a special local food from this city. 这道有名的菜肴是取自这座城市特别的当地食物。
So local is an adjective, and something described as local means it is about the place.Or it comes from the place that you're talking about. We can also use local as a noun to describe a person from a particular place. So, are you a local here in Taipei, Laura?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah? You're from here?
Yeah.
You're local.
I was born here as well.
Cool. Well, the article tells us more about this food in the prison. It says it takes 6 or 7 hours to make from start to finish. There are 2 kinds, mild and hot.
我都爱。
Oh, I want the hot one.
OK， 所以大概要花多久的时间做这个豆干？就是6到7个小时，从头到结束哦。OK， 那有2种口味的豆干，有微辣的OK， 或者比较轻微的，这个就是 mild， 还有大辣。你最爱的，对不对？好，那我们刚刚其实有说要花多少时间，其实我们可以用It takes how long？ 想要知道更多有关这样子的用法，我们当然要请教我们的 Magic Box 老师。
Magic Box
看鱼仔伫遮游来游去，游来游去 Wow! It takes me a lot of time to practice singing every day. 哎呦，没有办法，谁知道这是我的工作呢 ？I spend 10 hours a day singing. 即使唱到喉咙都哑了，但如果呢，那因为我的歌声而让粉丝们开心，或让世界上某个角落的人感到心灵的慰藉，那真的是很值得哦，太感人了 ，Yeah。时间就是金钱，没有错。知道这个观念以外呢，我们英文呢也是要知道怎么说哦。 其实花时间有很多句型可以运用的，例如一开始说的 It takes me a lot of time to practice singing every day. 我每天花了很多时间练唱哦。这边用的句型是虚主词 it 加上 takes somebody 什么时间 to do something。某人花了多久的时间去做某件事情哦？那你也可以把虚主词 it 改掉，将后面做的事情搬到前面来。Something take somebody 什么时间？好像是 practicing singing every day takes me a lot of time。记得原本的动词移到前面作为主词的时候，要以动名词来呈现哦。或是这句型，事件也是可以是个名词哦。For example, the practice takes me a lot of time. 练习这件事情花了我很多的时间哦。毕竟台上1分钟，台下10年功你们看到的歌曲跟表演真的是我辛苦的结晶哦。Yeah。观众朋友那你以为花时间只有 take 吗？其实常常用在花钱的 spend 也是可以替换使用的哦。只不过句型需要有点变化了。Somebody spent 加上时间，后面呢加上 VING， 很大的不同是主词会是人哦。那 spend 后面的动词一定要是动名词 VING。就让我最一开始的例子举例好了，像是 I spend 10 hours a day singing。我一天可是花了10个小时的时间在练唱有没有比你们上班上学的时间还长呢？真的是不容易想想看。It takes me a lot of time to practice singing every day. 这句又可以怎么用 spend 改写呢？ Yeah， 真的是太厉害了，各位！没错，就是 I spend a lot of time practicing singing every day. 天哪，喉咙真的是快要到极限了。好啦，我先去休息喽，各位。
Thank you, Magic Box. Now, back to some of those words from the article. Mild. Mild, M-I-L-D,
Right.
is an adjective, and it's the opposite of strong or harsh. We can describe many things as mild, including a person. Maybe they're not very strict, like a teacher.
Oh.
The weather. Mild means it's not too warm and not too cold. And we often use it for describing food. If something has a mild flavor, that means the flavor isn't very strong. That's not always a bad thing, though. Japanese food can be quite mild, but it's still very delicious.
真的耶，所以我懂，就是其实只要口味是比较清淡的啦，因为 mild 本身有味道不重或是轻微的。那但是刚刚有提到一个很好的重点，像是日本他们都是比较淡口味，但是我觉得也是很好吃耶。
I think Taiwanese food is also quite mild in flavor.
That's true.
Whereas food
compared
maybe...
to Westerns, a lot of Western food.
Yeah, or food from China, like in Hunan or
真的
Sichuan.
四川
It's very strong
可是你
flavor.
爱啊。
I love it so much. Well, the article continues with a second food item. Here we have scallion pancakes in Yilan prison. These vegetables grow in Sanxing, Yilan. I think they're talking about scallions.
对，三星葱 ，OK， 所以葱油饼这里是来自宜兰监狱，然后这些蔬菜是在宜兰的三星生长的哦，就是我们提到是三星葱嘛。
I went to Yilan a few months ago, and the first thing I heard about there was you have to try our scallions.
真的假
Their
的？
tongyobing is very, very good.
我那个外婆 ，my grandma is from 宜兰、It's really good.
Very
Yeah.
pretty. Well, the article tells us that they're the best in Taiwan. There are only 4 things in the pancakes: scallions, lard, flour, and salt. Okay, I think we know what scallions are, and we know what salt is. Let's talk about a few other ingredients. Lard, I think, is quite a fun word. Lard is a kind of fat that we get from pigs, usually, and use for cooking. We can fry things in lard, and it can make food taste really, really good.
对，我想到是猪油饭OK，所以3星葱是台湾最棒的葱哦。那葱油饼里面只有4个东西 OK， 但是很重要哦，就是葱啦 scallions， 还有刚刚我们提到的 lard， 就是猪油。那当然就是有面粉跟盐，盐我们都知道都是 salt， 可是 flour 这个字我们来看一下吧。我们来看一下 flour 这个字，不要念成 floor OK， 它是面粉的意思啦 OK， 那其实烹饪的时候，尤其是像是我想到煮蛋糕或者是一些甜点，我们是不是常常会用到面粉？那我们来看一下这个例句 In a large bowl, mix the flour coconut flakes and sugar together. OK， 常常可能我在烹饪的时候就说把什么面粉啦，或是椰子啊，然后还有这个糖都就是混在一起。我们再来看类似的例句 To make bread, we'll need flour, salt, oil, and a few other things. 要制作面包，我们需要面粉、盐巴、油和一些其他的东西。
So we use flour to cook so many different things. If you fry something in a flour mixture called batter, like French fries, they become really crispy and delicious. We can also use flour to make cakes and biscuits and, like Laura said, bread most of all.
Yes.
And there are different kinds of flour too, like self-raising flour, which just puffs up when you cook it. Well, that's the end of the article for today, but we do have some more food items to discuss tomorrow that are made in prisons by prisoners.
Wow.
Very interesting. But for now, let's go to our review time activity.
Review time.
Okay, so we're going to save the vocabulary review for the end of tomorrow's episode.
Oh, I love that.
So for today, I thought we could discuss a hypothetical situation.
OK， 我喜欢这个假设性问题。来吧，来吧。
Okay, so Laura, if you were stuck in prison for 5 years, how would you spend your time? What skills would you learn?
Okay, I kind of think 5 years, right?
It's a long time.
So I kind of want to learn something that requires a bit of time, but then I could probably master it and make good use of it afterwards. 所以我觉得5年可能学一个语言是一个很好的机会。
Good idea.
Maybe learn a language.
Which language would you like to learn?
我想要 learn Korean， 这样我就可以跟我的欧巴玄彬，就是你知道出狱之后交往，好像是个韩剧 Oh my God. Anyway, yeah.
That's a good answer. You know, languages are very useful skills.
I can be very focused during that time.
You
right?
can. I mean, you've not got much else to do,
I know,
really.
right? What about you?
I think a language sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Maybe I could learn Japanese.
真的吗？
I would also like to focus on maybe getting really fit. So like working out every day, getting big muscles. If you're in the prison for 5 years, you could come out looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
你这个又很像是每一个 I think they're like a TV series kind of like 对啊，就是好像美剧里面有这样子。
Probably.
可是 Arnold Schwarzenegger 有点难练。
Oh yeah, he's been doing it his whole life.
5 years, I don't really, maybe.
He's pretty big.
对。
I know that some prisons also have programs where they offer their prisoners degree programs.
Yes.
Like undergraduates.
我有听过这个。
That's good too.
可以在
You
那
can
边有
get,
个学历。
yeah, an education so that when you come out of prison, you can contribute more to
Yes.
society. Well, you guys can think about this question too. Hopefully you never go to prison. But imagine this situation. If you were in prison for 5 years, or if you just had 5 years spare,
Right.
what would you learn and how would you spend that time? But for today, that's all we have. We'll be back tomorrow with more tasty treats from inside prisons. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Special foods from prisons. Warm-up question. What kinds of food can you cook?
Sometimes people go to prison after they commit crimes. It's hard for them to get jobs after they leave. However, some prisons in Taiwan help prisoners learn job skills like cooking. Prisoners at these prisons make these special foods. Spicy dried tofu, Taipei Prison. Dried tofu is famous in Dashi District, so this is a special local food. It takes 6 or 7 hours to make from start to finish. There are 2 kinds, mild and hot. Scallion pancakes, Yilan Prison. These vegetables grow in Sanxing, Yilan. They're the best in Taiwan. There are only 4 things in the pancakes: scallions, lard, flour, and salt. Word power. Prison. Prison. After the man killed his wife, he went to prison. After the man killed his wife, he went to prison. Prisoner. Prisoner. Donald is a prisoner now because he stole money from a business. Donald is a prisoner now because he stole money from a business. Crime. Crime. You can't drink beer and then drive a car. It's a crime. You can't drink beer and then drive a car. It's a crime. Local. Local. This famous dish is a special local food from this city. This famous dish is a special local food from this city. Flour. Flour. To make bread, we'll need flour, salt, oil, and a few other things. To make bread, we'll need flour, salt, oil, and a few other things.
认识字汇
Commit. Commit. Mild. Mild. Lard. Lard.